On my wedding day with Ethan, news broke that his first love, Emily, had been kidnapped. He abandoned me at the altar and stormed out. Later he casually explained, "We can reschedule the wedding anytime. But lives can't be replaced." When I lay bleeding from a car crash, I called him. He sneered, "Pathetic imitation, you can't even copycat properly." My surgeon Lucas mocked, "Why keep this trash around for the holidays? I'd treat you better." During my eventual wedding to Lucas years later, Ethan crashed in screaming, "Another fake marriage to get my attention?" Lucas wrapped his arm around my waist, eyes brimming with devotion. "We've got twins on the way." The memory resurfaced as cheerful music played through the phone receiver. Ethan's voice dripped with revulsion. "Olivia, have you sumped to staging accidents now? Don't think my mother's fondness means I'll ever be faithful. You got in a crash? Should have died on impact. Emily's kidnapping was real. This cheap copycat act makes me sick." Pain fractured my words as I bled on the gurney. "Ethan, I'm at Mercy General, please." "Which hospital?" he demanded. My hope flared until he snarled, "I'll have them refuse treatment. Let's see who saves you now. Your death would be a public service." The ER physician snapped, "Family needs to consent for surgery." Ethan's laugh chilled the air. "Not my problem. Let the bitch bleed out." My hand went limp. He truly wanted me dead. "Ethan? Who are you talking to?" Emily's sugary voice carried through the receiver, followed by wet kissing sounds. Lucas studied my shattered expression before scoffing. "Seriously? You're keeping this loser?" He was right. Years earlier at our abandoned wedding, Ethan had sprinted to Emily's kidnapping without hesitation, prioritizing life over ceremonies. He'd claimed. I'd believed him, never realizing only her life mattered. When did he change? Maybe when Emily returned from Paris. Or perhaps he'd always despised me. High school memories flooded back, Emily constantly accusing me of copying her. "Ethan, look! She bought the same hair clip. Now she's faking a limp like my sprained ankle." Never mind, I'd purchased the accessory first. Or actually fractured my tibia, hiding the injury to spare him worry. But in Ethan's eyes, it looked like I was copying Emily. He even said I was a pathetic imitation. The trust between us had long since eroded. Ethan questioned my every move, convinced I was scheming for his attention. Yet he never confronted me outright, not when his mother adored me. Everything changed when Emily returned from abroad. "Ethan, I was wrong before. I acted like a fool. I'll never make that mistake again." The phone line crackled with derisive laughter before going dead. My phone clattered to the floor as darkness swallowed me. Through the haze, I heard a voice cutting through the void. "I'll cover the medical expenses. You're my responsibility now." The surgeon's white gloves gleamed under surgical lights, scalpel flashing cold steel. His clinical tone sounded like death's herald. "Anesthetic will take effect shortly. First, I need to treat these lacerations. This will hurt." Tears blurred my vision as I stared at his masked face. "Am I going to die?" He glanced up, piercing gaze dissecting my fears. "If you value life so much, should have watched where you walked. It's not like I chose to get hit." I bit back, then hastily added through gritted teeth, "I don't want to die. My SpongeBob marathon isn't finished. There's so much good food uneaten, places unseen. Dying now would be such a waste." Amusement crinkled the skin around his eyes above the mask. As anesthesia dragged me under, I suddenly remembered his promise in the ER. With fading strength, I tugged his scrub shirt. "Since you're saving me, guess I'll have to marry you. You're definitely better than him anyway." The ER plunged into stunned silence. His gaze flickered, but he remained silent. Darkness claimed me to the sound of his said.I. "Recover, but remember, promises bind both ways. Default, and I'll reclaim what's mine." I awoke in a private hospital room. Lucas entered carrying lily of the valley blooms, his fingers checking my temperature. Good. No fever. Reading his name tag, I ventured, Dr. Summers. Thank you. How exactly are you thanking me? His eyes narrowed when I hesitated. Most people say you're welcome. A low laugh rumbled in his chest. Wasn't there talk of bodily repayment? Not backing out now, are we? Heat flooded my cheeks as his breath warmed my ear. Rest well. You're safe with me here, Ethan. What are you thinking about? On the yacht, Emily leaned against Ethan's chest, pouting at his distracted state. She plucked a grape from the fruit bowl, attempting to feed it to him. Ethan pressed his lips into a tight line, turning his face away. His unfocused gaze remained glued to the dark phone screen in his hand that hadn't lit up for hours. Olivia, just one more call. One more text, and I'll come find you. His friend sitting across the lounge area spoke carefully. Liv never jokes about serious matters. What if she's actually in trouble? You'll regret it forever if something happens. Besides, you were the one who pursued her relentlessly in the first place. That grand romantic chase. No girl could have resisted that. Everyone's seen how crazy she's been about you all these years, practically your shadow. Even when you gave her the cold shoulder or snapped at her, she stayed. Can't you just reach out first for once? Ethan threw his phone onto the glass table with a clatter. What could possibly happen? Another pathetic attempt to get my attention. That copycat. I've been sick of her for years. The only reason I agreed to that sham wedding was to shut my mother up. Could have been any random woman. Chasing her was just a passing whim. Had I known she'd turn into this clingy mess, I wouldn't have bothered. If she actually died in a car crash right now, I'd throw a fucking party. Finally some peace. The group fell into uncomfortable silence. Someone opened their mouth to protest, but Ethan was already striding toward the wet bar. He popped open a bottle of Bordeaux, swirling the crimson liquid as he wrapped an arm around Emily's waist, disappearing into the master cabin. 2 minutes later, Ethan stormed back into the main cabin. Face stormy. A friend extended a gift box toward him. Liv asked me to give you this birthday gift. Ethan froze for a heartbeat before curling his lip in derision. Pathetic. Car crash my ass. Cheap manipulation tactics. His fingers trembled slightly as he tore open the wrapping. The familiar navy silk tie inside made his jaw clench. At 18, he demanded Olivia promise to gift him a tie every birthday, his exclusive right. Forbidding her from ever buying ties for other men. We went shopping together. The friend continued. Liv just asked me to hold some bags while she went to get your special surprise. When I called her later, there were tire screeches, then the line went dead. She hasn't shown up today? It's your birthday. Ethan's head snapped up. What did you just say? Skid marks? He stared at the tie's geometric patterns, throat working, before bursting into harsh laughter. Snatching his phone, he typed furiously, Olivia, clever girl, getting others involved in your schemes now? Think having backup makes your lies more believable? You're disgusting. You actually believe I'd fall for this? That I'd care? Keep dreaming. Never show your face to me again. The message delivered with a whoosh, disappearing into the void. Their chat history displayed endless green bubbles of unrequited messages from Olivia. Ethan's side perpetually blank except for occasional cold dismissals. He'd blocked her countless times during petty arguments, only to unblock her when bored enough to enjoy her groveling. Ethan hurled his phone against the leather couch. She'll come crawling back before sunset. That woman's obsession makes the laws of physics look flexible. His knuckles whitened around the wine glass. But she dared trick me. This time, I'll make sure she learns her lesson. He flung his tie carelessly to the floor, stomped over it with long strides, then abruptly yanked Emily, who'd been trailing behind him. Gripping the woman's chin, he kissed her with reckless abandon. Let's go inside, babe. Which room's your favorite? I'd spent a week hospitalized. Lucas attended to me daily, bringing meticulously prepared nutrient-rich meals that left me glowing with health. At night when I'd cry beneath the covers, he'd casually enter and sit by my bed, indulging my unreasonable requests for bedtime stories. His kindness knew no bounds. Gathering courage, I asked, "Why are you so good to me?" Lucas looked genuinely perplexed. "You're mine. Who else should I treat well if not you? Yours?" I blinked in confusion. He brushed his lips against mine. "Girlfriend. We're dating." I stifled a laugh, remembering our conversation during surgery, but didn't contradict him. As I basked in Lucas' attention, the hospital staff watched us with resentful eyes. During our courtyard stroll, I sat in the wheelchair while he took a call nearby. His voice carried clearly, "Found the guy. Ship him straight to northern Myanmar, prison's too lenient. Let me consider the mastermind, no interest in Summers Enterprises." Medicine's my calling, don't expect me to take over the family business. Hanging up. Lucas turned and saw me approaching. His frosty gaze thawed into springtime warmth. Why linger in the shade? You'll catch a chill. Suddenly apprehensive. I stammered. I am fine. Recognition dawned, this familiar face belonged to Lucas. The Summers family's infamous youngest heir. At 15, he'd left a boy paralyzed in a fight. The victim's parents later apologized to the Summers for their son's misbehavior. By 18, he'd cornered a rich kid at Cliff's Edge during a street race. After vanishing from Beijing's elite circles at 19, he'd reappeared as a doctor. Most crucially, he and Ethan were sworn rivals, their mutual avoidance legendary. I'd somehow entangled myself with Ethan's nemesis. Trembling, I tried wheeling back to my room. Lucas blocked my path with his long legs. Why the sudden fear? His looming shadow made breathing difficult. Clutching the wheelchair arms, I whispered, I'll repay the medical bills. Settle your feud with Ethan yourselves, I'm done with him. Don't use me against him. He stiffened. You think my care was strategy? Wasn't it? Bitterness rose. First Ethan. Now you, vipers all. Let's break up. I can't handle this. Chaos erupted in his eyes. He crushed my lips in a violent kiss. All-consuming fury and desperation. You're mine. And you're not going anywhere. If you dare say that again, I'll preserve you in formaldehyde like a specimen. Knowing my recovery still depends on him, I bite back my anger. Once I recover, I can still make a run for it. Right? Lucas leaves me no such chance. Later, I discover a journal in his office. It was originally meant for casual reading while waiting for him to finish surgery. He'd said I could browse the bookshelf if bored. Instead, I stumble upon the journal hidden in his drawer. Every page overflowing with affection for me. Sunny day. But my mood's foul because the girl I like got bullied. Doesn't matter, I taught those jerks a lesson. Her name's Olivia. Such an adorable name. She thought I was being harassed and stood up to protect me. So cute. But I'm too chubby. I don't deserve her. Gotta lose weight. She has a boyfriend now. Ethan, he's not worthy. I'm studying abroad. Hope she's happy. His patience astounds me. I never realized he'd loved me all along. He only left the country after learning I'd started dating Ethan. Even when school bullies targeted me, he secretly intervened. Lucas catches me reading the journal upon his return. He sighs, maybe it's better you found out. Keeping secrets was exhausting. Turns out he noticed me back in middle school, a plain girl in oversized glasses. So invisible even Ethan once sneered that no one would ever want someone like me. In high school, I remained unnoticed, except by Lucas' watchful gaze. These past weeks, he's proven through actions that his love is genuine. Not some ulterior motive I'd feared. Finally reassured. After discharge, he takes me straight to his penthouse. That night, Lucas pins me beneath him. Bedside lamp switched off. Smoldering heat escalates in the velvet darkness. His fingers trail fire across my exposed skin. You've no idea how long I've restrained myself. Baby. Through the distant floor mirror, I glimpse my reflection, a helpless fawn cornered in dark woods. Utterly ravaged. Dawn finds me collapsed into exhausted slumber. Ethan parties on his yacht for 7 days. When they dock, Emily clings to him like melted caramel, her limbs liquid with desire. He grabs his phone, bracing for Olivia's usual barrage of texts. Nothing. WhatsApp shows 0 notifications. No missed calls. Seems she's giving him the silent treatment this time. Ethan smirks coldly. How dare she ignore him? The audacity. He storms home to confront her, only to find his mother frantic. Ethan! Where's Olivia? She hasn't answered my texts or calls for weeks. What's happening between you two? Grown adults vanishing without a word. Something snaps in Ethan's mind. Dread pools in his gut. Unreachable? Suddenly, he remembers that voicemail about a car accident from 7 days ago. Olivia was really going to keep this up with him? Ethan felt an inexplicable panic rising as he rapidly dialed Olivia's number. Irritation and fury churned in his chest when Olivia lost control. She became an absolute lunatic. Someone who'd gamble with her own life and safety without hesitation. "Hello?" A strange male voice answered. Satisfaction dripping from his tone like a hunter savoring fresh prey. Ethan's face went completely blank. His heart plummeting. Midnight. Olivia's phone. Answered by a stranger. The realization ignited volcanic rage in his veins. "Olivia. You've really outdone yourself," he hissed through clenched teeth. "Out all night partying with strangers? Put her on. Tell her to get her ass home now. If she's not back by morning, she can forget ever showing her face here again. Where are you? I'm coming to get her." The man waited calmly until Ethan finished his tirade, then replied with infuriating composure. "Not tonight. She's exhausted. Probably won't be mobile tomorrow either. Doubt she'll even manage to stand. Considering she just got discharged from the hospital. She needs proper rest to recover." Ethan's self-control shattered. His foot slammed into the coffee table, sending it crashing against the wall as his handsome features twisted grotesquely. "You touched her? She's my wife." "Who gave you permission?" The words died as he remembered his own stubborn refusal to finalize their marriage license or hold the wedding ceremony. "Mrs. Foster jumped at the commotion, eyes welling with tears. "Ethan? What's happened to Olivia? Is she hurt?" His trembling hand nearly crushed the phone, murderous rage etching lines across his face. After several shuddering breaths, he forced out, "Who are you? Where is she right now?" Lucas tightened his arms around Olivia's sleeping form, recalling her tearful hospital confession about being unable to afford surgery. "Sure," he drawled. "First repay the medical bills I covered and the emotional distress fee for this midnight disturbance. Transfer whatever amount you think appropriate. No payment. No release." I woke the next morning to learn about Ethan's search. Lucas nuzzled my hair, his breath warm against my neck. "Your phone got smashed. I got you a new one with your original SIM card." His arms tightened possessively. "Answered a call for you last night. Negotiated some medical expense reimbursement." Blinking sleepily, I grabbed the device from the nightstand. Dozens of missed calls from Ethan glared from the screen. Lucas traced my jawline with feather-light fingers. "Might have mentioned we're together now." He seemed regretful. His thumb pressed warningly against my pulse point. "Be a good girl and end things cleanly, Liv. Unless you want me preserving your pretty self in formaldehyde. I did save your life, remember?" I nodded frantically. Yes, absolutely." Returning to the Foster estate, I exchanged pleasantries with Mrs. Foster before heading upstairs to pack. My suitcase lay open when Ethan stormed into the bedroom I'd occupied since age 12, this mansion that became my sanctuary after my parents' fatal car accident, courtesy of Mr. Foster's charitable guardianship. He gazed at me with an unreadable expression. Remaining silent, I ignored him. Ethan grabbed my wrist roughly, his cold eyes roaming over my exposed skin while anguish burned in their depths. "Where have you been these past few days? Who were you with?" I shook off his grip. "None of your business." Ethan's jaw tightened with suppressed fury. "Who's that man? Tell me." I flicked my hair back with mocking amusement. "Oh, you mean my boyfriend? We're dating now." "Got a problem with that, boyfriend?" He spat the word like poison. "You're throwing yourself at some stranger you barely know? Screwing around with random trash off the streets? Since when did you become this cheap, Olivia?" His absurd accusation made me snort. "He's not trash, he's the man who saved my life. Without Lucas, I'd have bled out in that car wreck. Thank God they took me to his hospital. Thank God he was my attending physician, and thank God he actually cares about me." The fight drained from Ethan's posture. After prolonged silence, his voice softened. "I didn't realize the accident was real. I thought it was another manipulative stunt. Had I known, I would've saved it." I stepped back, putting physical distance between us. "Where was this concern when I begged you for help? Weren't you the one who told me to go die? Who said my death would make everyone's life better? If Lucas hadn't been there, I'd be rotting in a morgue right now. So thanks for the life lesson, Ethan." Don't worry, I'll never bother you again. His face went sheet white, eyes widening with dawning panic. When he finally spoke, the words sounded dragged from his soul. Olivia, you've always wanted to marry me. We'll have the wedding immediately. Just forgive me this once, and I'll give you the marriage you've begged for. You can even stay in the main house if you tolerate Emily's presence. I'll overlook your indiscretions, provide you a proper home. In return, you won't interfere with my personal life. I doubled over with hysterical laughter, tears streaming down my face. Even now, his arrogance knew no bounds. Overlook my indiscretions? As if he held any moral high ground. This man actually believed marriage to him remained some grand prize, never considering what his games cost me, the girl who fell for his pursuit at 18, who wasted her youth waiting for scraps of affection. Orphaned young, I'd clung to Ethan as my sole source of light, dreamed of building a family with him. Instead, he treated me like forgotten luggage, ignoring my pain, my fears, every tear I shed. I'd groveled for his attention like some pathetic beggar, starving for basic human warmth. Straightening up, I wiped my eyes with finality. We're done here. My smile felt lighter than it had in years. I'm finally free. Ethan, I really, truly don't want anything to do with you anymore. We've been over for ages. I won't interfere with your life, and you should stay out of mine. My voice shook with sincerity, yet Ethan's expression darkened. His eyes flickered with something vulnerable before hardening into icy disdain. Olivia, I gave you an exit. Must I grovel? Do you even believe your own lies? Can you really let go of all those years pining after me? His voice dripped with mockery. Accept my mercy now, or don't come crying tomorrow when this offer expires. I stared at my hands. Letting go wasn't as hard as I'd imagined. Love dies in a single heartbeat. I can do this. Ethan. He studied me like a lab specimen, tension coiling his shoulders. After agonizing moments, he shrugged with exaggerated nonchalance. We'll see. Don't come crawling back. The memory of Lucas' kiss surfaced tender, reverent, like I was something precious. A laugh escaped me. I'd rather not end up like your formaldehyde specimens. The door slammed behind Ethan's furious exit. Descending with my suitcase, I found Lucas leaning against his Mercedes. He swooped in, effortlessly grabbing my luggage while pressing a bag of gummy bears into my palm. Fuel for the road trip. Ethan's glare burned holes in my back from across the parking lot. Lucas flipped him off with a cocky grin before peeling out, leaving tire marks and middle fingers in our wake. Through Ethan's vibrating phone, Emily's tearful voice pleaded, "They're charging me with assault. That car crash wasn't my fault. Help me. Ethan." Suddenly, Olivia's desperate calls from last week echoed in his mind, those same broken sobs. Irritation flared. "I'll handle it," he growled before hanging up. Watching taillights disappear, Ethan scoffed. This is just Olivia's tantrum. That Summers punks her prop to make me jealous. Certainty hardened his jaw. She'll come crawling back. I moved into Lucas' penthouse, scrubbing Ethan from my existence. Blocked numbers. Returned keepsakes. Ignored misses. Foster's dinner invitations until she cornered me at the Ritz. "My son's a fool," she whispered, clutching my hands. "I wanted him to cherish you. This is better. He'll regret this." 6 weeks later, nausea led me to Mercy General. The ultrasound showed 2 flickering heartbeats. By noon, every nurse at Lucas Hospital knew about the Summers Carter twins. Dr. Summers' fiancée is pregnant. Lucas announced publicly that we're getting married soon. He treated the entire hospital staff to coffee and pastries in celebration. When he lifted me off my feet in the hospital corridor, my startled squeal echoed through the hallway. "Put me down. What if you drop me?" "Lucas. I mean, it set me down this instant. His grin stretched from ear to ear as he spun me around. I'm going to be a dad. Can you believe it? We're having twins. That evening, per his insistence, I posted a social media update showing our intertwined fingers with matching platinum bands. The caption read, "Officially engaged. Meeting you was destiny, I'll cherish this always." Our wedding day arrived amidst autumn foliage. The officiant had just begun the vows when Ethan came charging through the chapel doors. This has gone far enough. Olivia! You think fake marrying some quack will make me jealous? Lucas' arm tightened around my waist, his thumb brushing the emerald-cut diamond on my left hand. Our twins would disagree about this being fake. He drawled, eyes glinting with triumph. Need to see the ultrasound photos? They've got my nose already. When Ethan kicked over a floral arrangement, mutual friend Ryan stepped forward. Don't do this. Man. It's their wedding day. You call yourself my friend? Ethan's shout cracked through the stunned silence. How could you keep her engagement from me? That social media post you knew for weeks. Ryan adjusted his boutonniere with deliberate calm. I've watched her cry over you for years. Frankly, seeing her choose someone who actually values her? He nodded toward Lucas. Best thing that's happened to any of us. The organ music resumed as security escorted Ethan out. You'll regret this. Threats fading into parking lot echoes. Later, guests would recount the drama over Champagne Flute's classic case of too little, too late. They'd cluck, eyeing Lucas' protective stance beside me. Months later, leaving my law firm's elevator bank while texting Lucas about his delayed surgery, I never saw Ethan's ambush coming. His familiar cologne assaulted my senses as he shoved me into a town car. You think playing house with that charlatan changes anything? His teeth scraped my collarbone. Divorce him. I'll give you the wedding you always wanted, no more Emily. Just us. My leather tote connected with his jaw. Get psychiatric help. Ethan. As I scrambled for the door handle, his grip turned bruising. You'll always be mine. Those brats he planted in you will pretend they're ours. I'll even wear that idiotic ring. The desperation in his bloodshot eyes almost looked like love if you'd never seen Lucas gently applying stretch mark cream, or heard him debate baby names at 3 a.m. Security cameras captured my stiletto connecting with Ethan's shin before I hailed a cab home, where my husband was already reheating lasagna. Scrubs swapped for the NASA shirt I'd stolen 3 winters ago. I want to be with you. I'm going crazy missing you. If we're together, you'll be my one and only from now on. You married him just to force me to confront my feelings. Didn't you? Now I know how important you are to me. Huh? I couldn't help laughing. Ethan, I'm not like you. When I love someone, it's with passion and honesty. Since I don't love you, I'll let go cleanly. I won't tarnish my feelings with cheap tactics. You were just a youthful mistake. It's time to put this all behind us. As I opened the car door to leave, Ethan grabbed my wrist the moment my foot touched the pavement. Let me court you properly this time. I'll treat you right and prove my sincerity through actions. I smirked at the absurdity. Get yourself checked if you're sick. This is just pathetic. When I followed him around like a lovesick puppy, he found me annoying. Now that I've moved on, he comes crawling back begging for reconciliation. How can people be so shameless and hypocritical? Ethan's voice trembled as he pleaded. Olivia. I was wrong. I thought you didn't matter to me. Now I realize you mean more than everything. Regret choked him when he saw her commitment to another man, witnessing her radiant in wedding white beside someone who wasn't him. He wanted to murder Lucas in that moment, and even more so wanted to travel back in time to strangle his younger self who took her for granted. This was his Olivia, the girl who used to call him Big Brother with honeyed sweetness, always waiting patiently whenever he glanced back. The girl he'd carelessly lost. Please. I scoffed. If regret fixed anything, the world would be unfair. We're all figuring out life as we go. Why should anyone grant you forgiveness? Fools who only value what they've lost don't deserve happiness. Lucas strode over and shielded me behind him. Who gave you permission to harass my wife? He growled, glaring daggers at Ethan. Dangerous recognition flashed in Ethan's eyes. Lucas. Long time no see. Lucas grinned lazily. Should've thanked you sooner. Wouldn't have gotten the girl without your monumental stupidity. As Ethan's composure shattered, Lucas casually took my hand. Let's go home. You'll make my favorite sticky rice chicken tonight. I'll be your sous chef. I rolled my eyes. Can't cook. Kitchen disaster. Lucas gently tucked my stray hair behind the ear. Eyes crinkling. Then teach me. I'll learn to make it for you every day. Our laughter mingled as we walked away. The wind carrying Ethan's bitter whisper, you only learned to cook that dish because I loved it. At Lucas's insistence, I now post daily couple photos online. To discourage certain delusional fools. He claims. His caution proved wise. At my friend's welcome back party, there stood Ethan. I'd known he might attend, but I refused to let him dictate my life or social circles. Ethan sat beside me reeking of alcohol. His disheveled appearance broadcasting recent debauchery. His slurred voice called my name. Olivia. I know I messed up. I bought that custom pink diamond ring you wanted. He extended his palm where the glittering jewel rested. I kept my gaze lowered, refusing to meet his bloodshot eyes. I promised to replace the wedding band after our courthouse marriage. Remember? This is better. Try it on, it'll look perfect during our ceremony. Rising abruptly, I brushed past him. My elbow accidentally knocked the ring from his grasp. We both watched it skitter across the hardwood floor before vanishing beneath the antique cabinet. Ethan's complexion turned ashen as he clutched my sleeve with trembling fingers. Liv. Please don't do this. Hate me. Punish me. But don't shut me out. I'll change anything you want. Just unblock my number. His voice cracked. The desperation of countless unanswered calls bleeding through. I can't lose you. Give me one chance to prove. A sardonic laugh sliced through his plea. Lucas materialized behind me, his arms encircling my waist with possessive ease. Ever heard the phrase simping gets you nowhere? You're making stray dogs look dignified. We left Ethan hunched over the ring search, opting for takeout instead. Back at Lucas' penthouse, he fed me slivers of tripe from the hot pot before abruptly pulling me onto his lap. Dinner can wait, he murmured, nuzzling my neck. Dawn found me drowsing against Lucas' chest when my phone erupted. Olivia. You've got to stop Ethan. My friend's panicked voice came through. He's booked the plaza for a wedding redo, commissioned Belgian lace gowns, and had Emily arrested for harassment. Tell him to quit the theatrics. I sighed, only to hear Ethan's ragged breathing on the line. Liv. I'm fixing everything. Just wait. Enough. Lucas snatched the phone, his lips grazing my earlobe. Wife needs her beauty sleep. The call died mid-protest as he pinned me beneath silk sheets. Remember, he growled between kisses. Stray thoughts about exes might land you in my specimen jar. I wound my arms around his neck, smiling against his mouth. Wouldn't dream of it. Dr. Summers. The formaldehyde threat had become our macabre inside joke, one that never failed to make Ethan's old love letters burn a little less. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more exciting stories. And drop your thoughts on this one in the comments. See you next time.